Okay, the time is 2:26. I'm bringing this planning board meeting back to order. Okay, our next case is Three Sisters. The request is to create 3 lots from tax parcel C25 and tax parcel D2 to be known as Three Sisters, containing 55.01 acres plus or minus. The lots will take access from a proposed turnaround to be dedicated on West Arctic Orchid Lane and West Tophin Avenue. The subject property is located directly north of West Tophin Avenue and directly south of West Arctic Orchid. Is it orchid or orchid? There's like 2 different words there.
Which one is it?
I think orchid or I can't talk now. Orchid is wrong. So it says,
It looks like it's orchid.
yeah, so it says that and then it says that. They're 2 different words. Is it this one?
Right. It looks like it's orchid.
Okay, so we're running with orchid. Okay, let me start over.
When we can pick up, I have the findings. We don't need to move into this one. We didn't close that hearing. We took a break to craft these findings, and now we can approve the findings, and then we can final off the case. We can be done
Oh,
with.
so I wasn't even supposed to go here yet.
Yeah, we were coming back out of break. That's why you caught me off guard. I was still getting these ready for you to approve, and you started on a new case. So we're not ready to start in on the new case just yet.
Okay.
I'll figure out which road it's supposed to be unless we just figured it out while you're looking at the craft. This is what I took from what you gave me to use for crafting the findings of denial. If this captures what you were attempting to say, or if you would like to edit them further, you can take a minute and read the findings for denial at numbers 1 and 2.
Okay.
I do believe actually that this would get space removed from it. I think it goes right back like that. Okay, I will now read these findings into the record. Okay, finding number 1, and under the facts of denial, the vacation would result in a substandard right-of-way pursuant to the 2022 Subdivision Construction Manual, Section A07.1. 2, Matsuboro Title 43.15035, Section B2, lowercase d, states that objections to the vacation are made by persons with an interest in land or affected. Oh, I should go back to the further part. It states that the planning board shall not ordinarily approve objections, and I will put that in here. Shall not. I bet you I spelled that wrong. Where am I?
Yeah, you spelled it right.
Yeah, I did spell it right. Let me get back. Let me actually look at the code before it screws up. Of public interests in right-of-way. Okay, the planning board shall not ordinarily approve vacations of public interests in land if, and D reads, objections to the vacation are made by persons with an interest in land adjacent to or affected by the vacation, or any government agency or department which has responsibility to the public which may be affected by the vacation.
I mean, put your quote correctly in there so I know which one you're quoting.
Thank you. Addition to vacancy are made by persons with an interest in land adjacent or affected by the vacation, or any government agency or department which has the responsibility to the public which may be affected by the vacation. And the pre-design and engineering division objected to the vacation of the right-of-way.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, there we go. And with that, we have closed the case.
Okay, so we can move on to Three Sisters now, right?
Here is this. Yep, you're ready.
Okay.
And that should be saved.
Okay, so we have Three Sisters. The request is to create 3 lots from tax parcel C25 and tax parcel D2 to be known as Three Sisters, containing 55.01 acres plus or minus. The lots will take access from a proposed turnaround to be dedicated on West Arctic Orchid Lane and West Tofens Avenue. The subject property is located directly north of West I can't pronounce that either, Avenue, and directly south of West Arctic Orchid Lane within Section 25, Township 17 North, Range 0103 West, Seward Meridian, Alaska, and the Meadow Lakes Community Council and Assembly District Number 4. To the board. You or any member of your immediate family have a substantial financial interest in any property affected by this decision, or will you recognize a foreseeable profit as a result of this decision? Seeing none. Have you received or otherwise engaged in ex parte contact with the applicant, other parties interested in the application, or members of the public concerning the application or issues presented in this application, either before the application or during any period of time the matter is submitted for decision outside of the public process provided by the borough? Seeing none. Are you able to be impartial in this decision? Seeing an affirmative. Madam Secretary, the mailings, please.
There were 12 public notices mailed on August 26, 2025.
Thank you very much. Staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chris Curlin, planning staff. I'd like to clear up the confusion. It is Orchid Lane. Had Orchard Lane been misspelled, we would have caught it.
Thank you.
The proposed subdivision, Chris Curlin, planning staff. The proposed subdivision is south of West Arctic Orchid Lane and north of West Tofson Avenue. Petitioner is creating 3 lots. Physical access currently exists. The turnaround dedication on West Arctic Orchid Lane will provide legal access. A topographic narrative was submitted by the surveyor pursuant to MSB 4320-281 A1II. Comments. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers sent information that anyone wanting to dredge or fill should apply for a permit. MSB, pre-design and engineering. The preliminary plat should show approximate locations of visible existing roadways within 100 feet of the proposed subdivision boundary. Please show the proposed turnaround easement for Arctic Orchid Lane on the same plan to ensure proposed easement encompasses the existing cul-de-sac. Staff notes a new drawing was supplied and deemed sufficient. MSB Permit Center, they will need a driveway permit as shown. Utilities, GCI has no objections. MSTAR, MTA, and MEA did not respond. At the time of this write-up, there were no responses to the request for comments from Community Council Number 4, Big Lake, Fire Service Area 130, Central Matsu, Road Service Area 21, Big Lake, MSB Assessments, MSTAR, MTA, MEA, or the public. The preliminary plat of Three Sisters is consistent with state statute and borough code. There were no objections from any federal or state agencies, borough departments, or utilities. There were no objections to the plat from the public in response to the notice of public hearing. Legal and physical access exist, and legal will exist once this is done. Staff recommends approval with 5 findings of fact and 7 conditions of approval.
Thank you, Mr. Curlin. Yes, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Fred Wagner, Platting Staff, or Platting Officer. I will note that at the time of staff report originally, we did not have a correct mailing list for the road service area. We were able to get a hold of the road service area advisor, and he has supplied a comment you will find in the handouts that the RSA does not object to the configuration as put forth. And we have since corrected the issue of an RSA mailing it. We've discovered the error and have put forth a way to correct it so that it does not go forth further.
They did get mailed to the.
Yeah, and it did get mailed.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Is there any questions for staff? Okay, seeing none. Would the petitioner's representative like to speak? Okay. I'm going to open for public hearing. Anyone present like to speak? Anyone online?
If anyone online would like to speak to this case, Three Sisters, case number 2025-107, please press *3 and we'll give you 3 minutes. No reaction. Thank you.
Okay, I'm closing public hearing. Petitioner's representative.
Dana Rumpfelt with Lavender Survey representing the petitioner. I'd like to thank you for your time. We accept the conditions of approval and don't have any comments.
Any questions from staff or the board? Nope. Okay. Can I get a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the preliminary plat of Three Sisters, Section 25, Township 17 North, Range 03 West, Seward Meridian, Alaska, contingent upon staff recommendations 1 through 7.
Thank you, Mr. Liebing. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Chivetta. Discussion from the board. No discussion. Any objections for approval? Seeing no objections, the motion has been approved. Okay, our last one here is Alliance Estates. The request is to create 38 lots in one tract from tax parcel D8 to be known as Alliance Estates, containing 24.07 acres plus or minus. Proposed lots will access South Clapp Street via proposed internal roads. The property is located directly west of South Clapp Street and north of South Knick-Goose Bay Road within the southeast quarter, Section 13, Township 17 North, Range 02 West, Seward Meridian, Alaska, in the Meadow Lakes Community Council and Assembly District Number 4. To the board. Do you or any member of your immediate family have a substantial financial interest in any property affected by this decision? Or will you recognize a foreseeable profit as a result of this decision? Seeing none. Have you received or otherwise engaged in an ex parte contact with the applicant, other parties interested in the application, or members of the public concerning the application or issues presented in this application, either before the application or during any period of time the matter is submitted for decision outside of the public process provided by the borough? Seeing none, are you able to be impartial in this decision? Being an affirmative, Madam Secretary, the mailings, please.
There were 72 public notices mailed on August 26th, 2025.
Thank you very much. Staff report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chris Curlin, Platting Staff. The proposed Alliance Estates is creating 38 lots in one tract to be served by a community water well. Lot sizes range from 0.92 acres to 0.46 acres. Access for all lots will be from the proposed internal streets. Access for the subdivision will be from South Clapp Street, a borough-owned road at this location. Another platting action is occurring next door to this property. They did meet and tried to work out the distance. A geotechnical report was submitted pursuant to MSB 432281 by Dan Snyder, professional engineer, noting that each lot has the required 10,000 square feet of contiguous usable septic area and 10,000 square feet of buildable area. Comments, MSB PD&E again commented about the intersection distance and site distance. There are quite a few handouts available regarding this with drawings and a good write-up from the surveyor. MSB Permit Center sent their usual. Utilities, Instar has no comments or recommendations. GCI has no comments or objections. MTA and MEA did not respond. Public comments, Jacob Partridge is concerned about houses being built near the airport. Any other public comments will be in the handouts. The preliminary plan of Alliance Estates is consistent with state code and state regulation and borough code. There were no objections from any federal or state agencies, utilities. Legal and physical access exists to the proposed lots. Staff recommends approval with 6 findings of fact and 9 conditions of approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Curling. Any questions? No questions from the board? Would the petitioner's representative like to speak?
Owen Dix, Resolute Land Surveying. I'm the owner of Resolute Land Surveying. You heard from Ellery earlier, who's the project manager, project lead on this project. But I have a letter that you guys have in your handouts, but I was going to read it just to bring further light to what we were discussing earlier. But if you guys have already all read it, let me know, and I won't waste your time. Would that be helpful to anybody?
You can go ahead and read it if you'd like.
Okay. We wish to address the Matsu Borough PD&E comments found on page 2 of the staff report packet. While PD&E has identified the proposed subdivision as a change of use, we note that neither Title 43 nor the 2022 Subdivision Construction Manual expressly defines or requires reclassification of a legally constructed borough approach under this circumstance. The access was built as part of the Clapp Street project, designed and accepted as for residential traffic, and continues to serve residential use. In our opinion, the designation of approaches as residential, public, or commercial in these roadway plans do not govern. It governs the type of approach constructed, not the underlying land use. Land use in this area is not regulated by zoning and therefore cannot be limited based on roadway plan labels. To address safety concerns, we have provided intersection site distance measurements consistent with the 40-mile-per-hour design speed of Clapp Street. The required site distance at 40 miles per hour is approximately 400 feet. The access to the proposed subdivision provides 800 feet to the south, which was previously shown on the preliminary plat, and 1,250 feet to the north, both of which exceed the minimum standard by a significant margin. This demonstrates full compliance with the functional safety intent of the subdivision construction manual, even though the intersection spacing is less than 650 feet. With respect to the requested stub road to tax parcel D7, Matsu Borough Code 43-2060C clearly states that access to the adjoining lands does not have to be provided where legal and constructible alternative access is available. Parcel D7 already has 2 existing legal and constructible rights-of-way, West Ridgeline Drive and South Berlin Rose Street. These existing roads provide adequate independent access, and therefore an additional stub connection from this subdivision is not required by ordinance. Regarding intersection spacing, while Subdivision Construction Manual A9.2 calls for 650 feet minimum spacing, The current distances of 378 feet and 483 feet were established as part of the 2018 Clapp Street project constructed by the City of Wasilla and the Matsu Borough. Under Title 43-20-138, Major Road Corridors, these existing access points are recognized as beyond the subdivider's control. Compliance in this situation is properly demonstrated through intersection site distances, which is achieved well in excess of the required standard. In summary, the proposed subdivision design provides safe, adequate access through existing borough-approved infrastructure, demonstrates compliance with the intersection site distance standards, 1,250 feet to the north, 850 feet to the south versus around 400 feet required, and does not require a stub road to parcel D7 under Title 43-2060C. We respectfully request approval of the subdivision as submitted.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, you're off the hook. Okay, I'm going to open up for public hearing. Anyone present like to speak? Anyone online?
If anyone online would like to speak to the Alliance States case, case number 2025-111, please press *3. On hearing that you have been unmuted, give us your name and address, spelling your last name, and we will give you 3 minutes to speak. Nobody.
Okay, seeing none, I'm closing public hearing. Petitioner already spoke. We had no questions from the board. Can I get a motion from the board?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the preliminary plan of Alliance Estates, Section 13, Township 17 North, Range 02 West, Seward Meridian, Alaska, contingent upon staff recommendations 1 through 9.
Thank you, Mr. Leaving. Can I get a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mr. Chavetta. Discussion from the board. Mr. Gilson.
We have a public hearing and someone responded and they were concerned about the water for this situation on a community well. And they're concerned about the water for their own neighborhood, the ridges, I guess, here. And I haven't heard anybody talk about the water situation. So hoping somebody can answer that.
Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Fred Wagner, Platting Officer. Thank you. Getting a little bit of feedback there. The Matsu Borough Title 43 is actually silent on the availability of water. The requirements that we did, that was weird. The requirements are that you can provide a community well, and then you can approve smaller lots, but the availability of water is not something that the title contemplates, as there are properties within the borough that do not have the ability to get water, so it's not something that is considered in the subdivision process at this time.
Does that answer your question?
I'm sure he's accurate, but I don't like what the answer was, because if you ruin the water for somebody else, that's not a good thing. So I'm worried about it.
Mr. Wagner.
Fred Wagner, Platting Officer. I'll follow up a little bit more on that. The DEC, the State of Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation, is the entity responsible for water. Our position is somewhat, again, we remain silent on this at this time. I don't know if we will add something future in the code, but at this time, the title is silent on availability of water.
Sure. Come forward, please.
My name's Dan Steiner. I'm the civil engineer associated with this project.
The water system for this subdivision will be owned and operated by Northern Utility Services. They operate a number of water systems throughout southeast Alaska, or south central Alaska, including a number here in the valley. They have drilled a well, and they've had more than adequate flow for what we want to do. So we do know that the aquifer there has a high capacity. How that will affect people in other areas, we don't know that yet. But unless they are really, really close, and when I say close, like a couple 100 feet or closer, that well should have no impact on other people's wells. My only recommendation for something like that is people can protect their water use by applying for water rights. And even as a private individual, you can do that. Most people don't, because that's seldom an issue in this area. So I don't, does that help, Mike? So I will say that Northern Utility Services is an excellent owner and operator of water systems. They, like most water system operators that I know, the water systems are kind of their babies. And they take a lot of pride and put a huge amount of effort into make sure that the quantity and the quality of the water is where it should be to protect public health.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, Mike. Any further questions? Okay. Can I get a motion? Or we already got a motion part. I'm starting to lose it. Any objections to approval? Seeing none, the motion's been approved. And that was it. So we have no other items of business. Platting staff comments.
Okay, I need to make an 18-minute comment. No. Planning staff we did a running, how long is the meeting going to take today? So, and we went Price is Right rules. So anyway, somebody had 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I have no further comment. Oh, we would like to take this time to welcome our newest platting member, Cayman Reynolds, to the platting staff. He is replacing Amy, and we are at this time fully staffed. We would also like to announce that our clerk, Kayla Smith, has given birth to a beautiful little baby boy. All right. And he's healthy, and they're looking forward. Are they home yet? Or they're looking forward to coming home from the hospital here shortly. And I'm sure that she'll probably bring the baby. Hopefully she'll bring the baby in for all of us to ooh and ah over at some point in the near future. And with that, I'll add it to Lacey. Do you have anything for the planning board?
My name is Lacey Olivieri. I am filling in for Kayla Smith while she's at the hospital with her baby. They will be in the NICU for a little while, so.
Thank you.
Any other platting staff comments? All right, platting board, Mr. Liebing, any comments?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Mr. Gilson, Mr. Javetta, Mr. Hartford. All right, none for me. Thank you, and I am closing the planning board meeting at 2:55 p.m.
So now that it's official, who won, Fred?
I don't know.